Okay, so this is a tutorial on how to run Junior Church on Zoom. I've set up a kind of fake scenario of there being 6 different children on the call, and so that we know that what it looks like. And the first thing to do is, when you are leading Junior Church, you need to be made the host of the meeting, or a co-host. And Becky is the one in charge. She has the ability to make someone a host. And when you are a host, if you click on the participants button, you'll see your name, and in brackets it will tell you if you're a host or not. And that allows you to mute people. And there are a couple of ways to mute people, but I think the easiest is that when you're looking at everyone on screen, if you hover your mouse over their video, a mute button appears. And you simply press that and you mute them. You can't unmute them, but you can ask them to unmute. Again, hover over their screen, ask to unmute, and that will send up a message telling them that the host would like them to unmute themselves. The other way to mute people is to mute everyone all at once. And to do that, again, having clicked on the participants page, then you come down the right hand side and you click mute all. It will say to you, do you want to allow participants to unmute themselves? Leave that ticked, because we want people to be able to turn their sound on again, and click yes, and you'll see everyone now has a red microphone crossed out. Apart from me, the person who just muted everyone, I get to stay talking. And that's a good way when you're wanting people to be able to concentrate. It's worth saying that all of this is a lot easier when you're not in full screen mode. If I double click, when I go to the participants tab in full screen mode, it pops up as a floating window. And I think that then makes things more confusing. So you're better off looking at Zoom not in full screen. And then if you click the participants tab or that kind of thing, it pops up in the right hand side. If you ever want to use the chat feature for a game, then you click on the chat button, and automatically you'll be sending a message to everyone. You just type it in and press enter. But if you had a game where you needed to tell one person a clue, then you could click on everyone and select, okay, I need to tell child 4 that their charades is eating an apple. And you see it comes up from me to child 4 privately eating an apple, so only they will be able to see that. The other big thing to learn how to do is to set up a PowerPoint to teach from, and how to then share that on your screen. So I've got an example PowerPoint, which I did a few weeks ago, and make the PowerPoint as you normally would. And then this is a crucial bit. You want to go up the top, you go to the slideshow settings, click set up slideshow, and then change it from being presented by a speaker to browsed by an individual. And click OK. And the reason you do that is so that now when we go to present the slideshow, we're able to click the 2 boxes up in the corner and make that PowerPoint smaller, but still presenting it in full screen as far as everyone else is concerned. I'm going to do the same with my Zoom window. I'm going to make that a bit smaller. And what that allows me to do now, this is normally how I would lead Junior Church, is I'd be able to see my PowerPoint ready to go and also still be able to see everyone on screen. To share that PowerPoint, I click the green share button, and then I select the PowerPoint slideshow. And if it's got a video in it that you want to play, or any sound that people need to hear, then you also need to check these 2 boxes down the bottom, share computer sound and optimize screen sharing for video clip. So when you click share then in the bottom right, everything now changes. You can see there's a green box around the PowerPoint, and that means that it's that green box shows what everyone else is able to see. But it isn't quite perfect because you've lost everyone. You want to be able to see everyone else. And to do that, you need to hover over this More button and click Show Video Panel. And automatically it will come up with these two blue rectangles highlighted. And that means you can just see 4 at a time. But if you click on the Grid View button, and then using the dragging from the corner, you can actually drag it to the point where you can still see everyone on screen. So what this now means is that you can see your PowerPoint, and when you click over onto the PowerPoint, you can move through the slides, but at the same time you're still able to see everybody, and if someone puts their hand up, you can interact with them better. So that's really good. You can still ask to unmute people, or if they're unmuted, you'd still be able to hover over them and mute them. And when you're finished screen sharing, you go to this red Stop Share button, and then you've stopped screen sharing, and if you're finished with your PowerPoint, then you could maximize zoom so that you're looking at everyone all again. Those are the main features and the main ways in which you can run a junior church session on Zoom. If you want to insert a song into your PowerPoint, then I'll just show you how to do that. So let's say we wanted to have a song at the end of this PowerPoint about shining a light. So I would create a new slide, and I'd go to YouTube and find, let's find this little light of mine, and whichever version I want, let's go with this one. I'm going to copy the website link and then go back into PowerPoint, and I'll get rid of these text boxes, and I want to click Insert and Video, and it's an online video, and then I simply paste in that website address, and when I click Insert, it will take a little bit of time, but it will appear like this, and I can drag it into the top corner, make it bigger, and then when we come to present, you'll see that when you get onto the slide, you'll have to wait until that play button appears, and then when you press the arrow key again, it will take a little bit of time to load. And it will start playing from within the PowerPoint. So that's the end of your tutorial.